Fangs of Fire here. Welcome to this match that is about to begin. This is going to be a very difficult game, as Strider is no easy adversary to defeat. So, I'll need all my skill, and if I am to win this, I am going to need all my skill and probably a certain amount of luck as well. But we'll see. I'll definitely do my best to try to pull a double on Strider after 4 people before me failed to get even one game off of him. Okay, what we got? Rats, Spy, Double Fog, and Bats. Okay. I mean, much as I like Unnatural Fog, I don't have any particularly great starting encounter. So where to begin? Now, Strider has played me many times throughout various tournaments and also just friendly matches. He knows that I'm quite prone to doing central, tricky, central web starts. Which makes me wonder, should I try something a bit more meta and go for an extremity? If I had a hoax in hand, I would definitely, go for, say, a Bari or Naples opening. I think that what I'll do we'll go with starting at Genoa, and we'll start for my first encounter being at Florence. This will inevitably lead to something of a wind around the center sort of thing. But since I don't have any particularly great starting encounters, Oh, got a horse on her first draw. Well, that's lucky for a Strider. But one way or another, this is gonna have to be something of a trash trail type thing. Just simply given the hand that I have. Spy is the best starting encounter I've got. A bit unfortunate, but it's the truth. Scouts? I mean, okay. Sure. Yeah, it looks as if... Yeah, and especially since I didn't draw anything any better. In fact, what I got was... you would probably call that worse than than the spy in terms of a starting encounter. Honestly, I'm just not sure what to do. Let's not forget to misdirect. I think we'll go to Venice and I'll save bats for more like the center of the board. I think I'll go to Venice and do unnatural fog. Now that'll look extremely weird to you because like but the reason I have to do this is because at least this means I'll trap a hunter in a small town for a couple days. Whereas all my other things will either give away my whereabouts if he hasn't found me yet, or are just plain useless when they mature. I may end up going for something of a lair stratagem, in truth. I have no idea. It was definitely not the sort of encounter hand I was hoping for. That's for sure. Planned ambush on Mina. Okay. I think we'll go to That's a fun idea, but no. I thought briefly about hiding on the fog. Yeah, and putting down my other fog for whatever reason. But okay, what's the best place I might be able to place the aristocratic vampire at? Let's just use it. I think we're just officially just doing trash trail. Gonna place semi-dud encounters and just eat away at their time. It's really all I can do with this sort of hand. I was actually tempted to Dark Call to give you an impression of how it's hard to say bad. Oh, perfect. Perfect time newspaper. That is not good. And then again, if I'm doing trash trail, I suppose I want them to interact with the stuff. So I suppose it's not the worst. So we'll definitely lay down the desecrated soil next to filter my hand somewhat. And as I'm very sure you've heard it at some point or another, but if you haven't, here's a thing about playing with Dracula that makes him easier to pilot is that you have to judge each situation as it arises, you might say. I go to Zurich. Pretty obvious, I know, but I want him to find it. What if I were to go to Genoa or Marseille and then go to sea? Because that would give the impression that I went down instead of up. Okay. Huh. I mean, probably not the best of ideas. I think that, yeah, we're gonna head west into Spain. Since Seward is vacating that, basically go the old trick of going where your opponent just left. sort of thing. Depending on exactly how Van Helsing behaves here, I might even go up for an early England. Like Spain, or like say go down into Spain and then go up to England, perhaps, is perhaps a long-term game plan. It being very hard to make one, but that's probably in effect what's going to happen. Let's just continue laying down stuff to delay them. No. I mean, they have trails that they have to deal with, and they don't know if I've gone up. They don't know if I've gone they don't know if I've gone up. They don't. I could still, if I'm hiding, I could still be down at Bari or Naples. While they know more than I would like them to know this early in the game, things could be worse. Okay, I think I'll actually go to Paris next. Like go, then loop around this coast, something like that. If Mia searches that will be very nice. Yeah, trade. I'm guessing a horse trade. The fact that Mina used a yellow 1 to get there instead of just horsing seems to say that he doesn't have all the glue tickets yet, and that's good. That means that he may take longer than that means that he could very well take longer than average to take care of my trail. And every little bit of time that I can get will help. Place down the walls, I suppose. Just continue laying down semi-random stuff. Okay, Seward. Okay, that seems like he found the last white one. Going to Munich. Does Seward have 2 horses, perhaps? Interesting. So that means that Mina's gonna go to Spain, or to Florence, rather. Why did I say Spain? Don't know. He discards a rifle. Okay. I was hoping that since it was Mia, it would get a knife, but oh well. Okay. Lair. Toss the rats there. Where now? I think that I will. How 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 long do I want to delay going down to Spain? Ideally, as long as possible, but I think I'll go to Clermont-Ferrand and lay down a reckless vampire, so that those bats actually have something worthwhile to bat into. Let's see, will Godalming move to Munich? Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay, then Helsing's using a horse. Okay, so he's gonna go up to Godalming and then give him said horse. Moving away from me. This is quite good. Okay, so now Mina's gonna look for the next spot. Which at this point he knows I've been through Milan at some point. Okay, and then he's gonna scan Spain. I think that's the sort of excellent, that's actually an excellent time to do a wolf form, because then because that will make him think, oh, he may well be in like Zurich or Geneva, and now he's wolfed into Germany. It may slow him down a bit in terms of how quickly he comes this way. He's probably rather confused that I used by my using fog so early. But to have Seward trapped there for a couple turns is pretty nice. Yeah, well, from here we'll wolf form. We'll do a semi-fake wolf form. Or do I? I think I'm gonna place the hoax here. I think we'll go with Barcelona and then hide it to, or no, we'll go with Santander and then hide, give it fog, try to actually get it through. I can't say that I'm moving down to Spain. I can't say I like moving down to Spain this early, but Wow. Well, best thing I could have done, given the combat hand I had, would have been a claws to deal 4 damage back. But on the other hand, now he's discarded an item. So, it didn't do nothing, I suppose, is what I'm really getting at there. But that is rather frustrating. Trading with Seward. Interesting. Even though he's sitting on an encounter. Okay. So now we've got 2 hunters delayed for a day. Okay, so forget about the hiding with the fog. They are going to get here with more than enough time. Then again, I suppose they don't know whether I went up or not. They don't know where the wolf form is too, though logic says that it's Santander. Lair. We'll place some wolves there. Yeah, so we'll leave that simply for delaying them. Place another aristocratic. Just continue placing stuff here and there to delay them and stall for time. Because we're already a few days into the second week, so... So Van Helsing is going to have to be the one to search Zurich, if he wants to search it at all. Because Sewer, Trapped, and Fog, and both of them are delayed, so it's up to Van Helsing. Okay, so he's got a stake. Alright. We'll toss bodyguards. Wow, I have all of the 4 remaining fighter vamps in my hand. I think I'll toss the mob, but I think Spy is good enough to keep. Okay. Nice. So that means I get to heal the off the wolf form. How many stakes are in the discard? 2? And then Helsing has a 3rd one? Okay. Since there's a Heavenly Host in the discard now, we can move to Granada safely. So now we'll continue to have my trail cost him cards. For him to follow me. Seward's on the move. So from here, I'm going to have to consider each turn whether I can afford to put down a vampire or... I mean, he still doesn't know 100% that I went south into Spain. It would make sense if I did, but... but it's possible that I didn't. Okay. Vampiric influence. Oh, thank you. Planned ambush. Okay, so Holy Circle, Heavenly Host, and Holy Circle. Bye-bye, horse. Then, let me see. I have a... What stuff do I have in layers? I have wolves that Venice has... Okay, well, Milan's the only one that I can move her to, so... And since she has no weapons, this will savage her for 4 damage. And that prevents him from doing a psychic bond or any trading between me and Seward, which I'm guessing was his original plan. What's with the night supplying, I wonder? The night supplying. Lying. Are you trying to make me win? What's with the night supplying? Are you trying to make me win? So that vampiric influence is very nice. Getting rid of a horse, lovely. Lair. Honestly, I shouldn't have layered. Well, I chose to... Okay, well that's neat. We'll go ahead and try to rumor it. Jonathan Harker. Okay, well that'll help him. Oh, but he's going for a search? Oh, nope. Haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, all the dogs are in the discard, so that's not something that might happen. Okay. What you got? What you got, Seward? Pistol? Okay. Just studying the discard, narrowing down what else he could have. I think I will not lair. Well, yes, I can. The mob is perfectly fine to toss away. Yeah, I think that with him knowing that I have not been to Brussels, he knows that I'm down in Spain. Will he check Lisbon? I'm not sure. Well, it would take a chartered carriage for him to get down there. Either that or a sense of emergency with renewed vigor. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have the best of hands, so I think I'll go with placing a bats and yeah, I'm likely gonna have to put C next turn, so we'll do the rune token now. Newspapers, okay. I think I may be able to get away with a hide. Yeah, better him use the stake on the aristocratic than on the reckless I've got here. Resting. That's interesting. I think I can't with Gul'daming being delayed. I think I can afford the renewed vigor, especially since I know exactly what Mina has, apart from one event. But okay, toss the Venice Slayer. Push rats on clone friend. Okay. Hide, place down fog just in case. Scouts. Okay, so now he's gonna get a better picture of what I've been up to. Okay, yeah, and now Van Helsing is committing in, so now I go to sea, and the only question is, do I go up to England, or do I go east to Baltica? Okay. One. Yeah, there's one more stake left. Lair. Toss the Geneva lair. Because I want that new vamp in the reshuffle. Toss the Saboteur down. Desecrated soil. Okay, we gotta head out to sea. So we're off to a reasonable start. I don't have any influence, but we're entering week 3. But I've only been forced to see it at the beginning of week 3, so, or just before week 3, so. Scouts, okay. Yeah, we definitely won't be happy to see that. Okay, a pistol. Do I go med and head for Baltica, or do I go... Yeah, I think I make distance. I may not end up going all the way to Baltica yet. I may end up like Wolfhorn Shore at Bari, but possibly even go to Cagliari. The fact that there's the hide card on the trail already means that CAG is far less appealing. And I'm hoping that he does not have Money Trail, obviously, but... We'll play around him, starting off with a Henley host. Oh, okay. gracious, this hand sucks. Double knife. Okay. Okay. So Sword has 2 knives. Good to know. Well, that means he's just not gonna move there. That sucks. That was a good use of wax cylinders. Sure. And the good news is that he doesn't seem to have my trail. Yeah. Okay, there's my fog back. One, two, three, 11, 12, 13, 14. The fact that there's been 14 Drac events means that he hasn't gotten as many Hunter events. I think we'll go for Bari. He'll be able to easily step into Italy with Gulaming and Mima, and then and then search. But we are now getting close to week 4, so I and unless he's picked it back up, he has only 2 horses. Okay, Nitro? Okay. Doesn't matter then. I think we'll feed, hide, and then so long as there isn't pressure, as long as I have enough breathing space. Oh, vampire lair? I mean, that doesn't change things in terms of the Fury of Dracula points clock, but surprising return? Yeah, I did have Harker. So, checking Venice. Trying to make it so I can't hide. Get it. To be honest, this is a good time aim to feed. Because we're approaching the 4th week, during which feed doesn't get me points. I think we... let me see. Renewed Vigor. We've already seen 1 Shard Carriage, so... 1, 2, 3... Since our emergency is enough, though... Do I... do I even risk feeding yet? I need to get them to commit into Italy at least somewhat. And the thing is that they don't know that it's not Milan. So he may briefly check that. Layer. Toss the... I don't know. This is the one that doesn't have... Do I feed? Or do I even move that somewhere else down here? That will... I just don't think I had that sort of breathing room. I think we feed and then hide. Okay. Double stake discard? Local rumors? Okay. Do I hide, or do I just hop into the Adriatic now? I'm not gonna have wolf form for landing at Bologna regardless, so I may as well... And that's just, now that the second chart carriage is accounted for, Bari is actually relatively secure for me. Hide for Friday move, Saturday move. Saturday move, Bologna. Then we begin scoring points. This raises the question: if let me see, at what point will Terrain C fall off? If I hide, then when I move to Adriatic, this falls off. Ionian, this falls off. Tyrrhenian, I would be able to move back to Tyrrhenian. So I think we will do the hide. Yeah, if he has RV, he will likely use it now. I mean, assuming that he has events to get other people there. Okay. Yeah, because if he doesn't, there's really no point. Okay, nice, slow horse. So, Seward... I am completely fine doing a 1v1. So, we actually will not ambush with anything. Yeah, Seward has far too many events for me to comfortably try to... Mina is... At a guess, still has not hunted up that horse. Or it's... Oh. Okay, it's that seems to say that then Helsing have hunted it up. In fact, daytime trade and yet not. Okay. If I had to guess, there will be heroic leave tonight, but really not. What can I do about it? A 1v1, yeah. Planned ambush. Fine, but what can you really do about it? So I know that last I checked, he had double knife. So we'll do a clause that regardless what he does, he will either, worst case scenario, he has a gun and holy bullets. That's the most damage that he can do. Okay, he does have a gun, but the question is that simply to block so that he doesn't take 4 in return? Yes, it would seem so. Okay, good. Strength. Thank you. That's definitely one that. Punch. Kick it. Makes sense, makes sense. I think we mez next. Yeah, so see, he seems to have horse, knife, pistol. Unless he traded something. With double knife, I will never land a Fang. So, let's be realistic here. Let's just leave. Take the so he said planned ambush. Deal 2 to Drac and take 2 in return. Big deal. That is for me. That's a pretty good deal. The fact that he's already sent Mitro is pretty big for me. And what's more, if it is to be believed, so to speak, that he still has double knife, that means that he won't have the Heavenly Host to clear the desecrated soil. Although chances are he's gonna be hopping across the Adriatic. Glomming isn't moving. Interesting. Does Seward have excellent weather to get to Valona ahead of me? No, he doesn't. So this is interesting. He isn't really... The fact that he's not moving means that he's not in position to intercept me when, if he were to CG me when I land at Valona, force me to Sarajevo. He's not really in a position to take advantage of doing that. And he might be able to make himself be in a position next turn. Yeah, it looks as if that vampiric influence getting rid of that horse may have saved me. Because he still, by appearance, he still doesn't have it. Okay. He discarded Vampire Lair. Well, yeah, I suppose he knows that Vampire Lair doesn't make the slightest difference against Fury of Dracula points. That being said, that means that if I can get in a Reckless Vampire ambush hit point, then it would have made a difference. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16. So, okay, fog. Okay, yeah, let's get some better cards. We will toss Hoax. Yep, and with that fogged, it'll be a while till. Will he even be able to address that at all? And also, will he be inclined to send someone down there to essentially knife me? Okay, we definitely go to Valona. We will go with a new vampire. What's the stake situation? I know that Mina is showing the one and only stakes, so new vampire will be a bit tough for him to kill. And yes, definitely place a rumor token. Try to. Huh. Why isn't it letting me end turn? Oh. Okay, I was on someone else, that's why. Okay, we've entered week 4. So that already takes a couple IDS off. That means that the week 4 modifier will mean that if I do lose, which is still quite possible. Okay, RV while Seward is in fog. Surprising return. Okay, sure. Yeah, but you have to. I suppose he has to be absolutely certain that I'm not pulling something cute and doing Venice. But honestly, I don't mind. Because I can. Okay, RV. Oh, slow horse. Okay. I suppose he was gonna have that be a move on to Sarajevo. And then he's gonna CG, perhaps. I will see what he does. Because if that had been the case, I wouldn't have gone to place an encounter. But now, at least I'll have that. Unless one of these two has a sense of emergency. So Mina has an excellent weather. Good to keep in mind in the case I choose to go back to sea. Yeah, given the circumstances, no. Unless, yeah, that is guaranteed to mature. So I'm at good. So long as I don't die before this would mature, before this manages to mature. Oh, okay. So that means that he. Alright, so that means that I don't get to place an encounter after all. But of course I am assuming that he has CG. And but honestly there's really little other explanation for this. It's possible I should have gone Ionian and then loop it, force him to make a choice. Okay, so Mia's not getting any closer, so that means, well, barely. Is there CG? That's the question. Van Helsing's out of events, so unless one of these is CG. There's no CG. Oh, and that's where it is. Yeah, this is definitely gonna suck. Okay, Van Helsing. I missed who was the first one to reveal one, but Mina has one. Well, I know that Seward doesn't have one, so basically everyone other than Seward showed one. At the very least, I get some points due to the Fury of Dracula timer. The question is, will Mina even be able to get there? She only has this event that might get her even close. Heroic Leap. I mean, if he has Heroic Leap, okay, which he does, that means that he's now down to 1 HP for the night fight. Which means that he's likely going to step off and let Gul'daming attack instead. Aggie? Oh. Wow. Wow. What's timing for Aggie? Wow, what time for Aggie? That's nasty. I will see what sort of events Gul'daming has, but I'm likely gonna need to. So let me see. What do I know about what they've got? Okay, any combat events? Lucky Find. Okay, that's definitely not the worst. It's possible that he will discard his horse. Garlic Wreath? Okay, well that definitely sucks big time, because now he can safely play Heavenly Host, and there's not a thing I can do about it. How many events does he have left? 2, 1... Okay, so that's 4 that I don't know what they are. Okay. So he's just going to play Heavenly Host with Gul'daming, and that will be that. Because, yeah, unfortunately this is GG. If he sees that line, then this is GG. I'm going to say that he does not have great strength. GG, well played. But we are going to... Oh, but he does have the great strength, it seems. Yeah, I needed to go for a longer sea voyage. Yeah, if there hadn't been Aggie, then I might have been able to survive that. Because then I would have just fanged Gul'daming, regardless of Garlic Wreath. I would have knocked him out of the combat. But, well, that's survived till week 4. Got 3 points before I died, so yeah. GG. Lol. Okay. Well, but there we have it, folks. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time. Bye.